you ever wake up feeling super grumpy, or maybe your mind's kind of like turning over stories about people that you're mad at or people that have wronged you, and then it's just kind of like bouncing from one problematic thing to the next, and you're pretty convinced that this person just needs to do a thing, or that they really did it wrong and that it's their fault that you're feeling this way. I woke up the other day in this thread of, I don't know, grumpy, sort of fearful, kind of angry mood. And I was in it, but I also had enough distance from it that I could watch the thoughts. And if I was a little less conscious and aware, and that could happen at any moment, I probably would have just kind of believed all the thoughts and followed the thread and been mad at the person. But I know enough now to, more often than not, begin to wonder about what's happening. I watched my mind bounce, literally, it just like, it would have one story, and then I'm like, what is that? And then it would go to another one, and then it would go to another one. And I began to get curious about what was actually happening. And if I could sort of zoom out of the context of my thoughts, the details, into the content, I realized that actually what was underneath that was fear. I was feeling scared in my body. And what had happened was I wasn't actually presencing with that. I wasn't moving that fear through. And so my mind got a hold of it, did the best it could with it, and just was reflecting my state with one fear story after another. I felt like pretty bad in this. I think that's where the grumpy and some of the anger came in. I don't like waking up feeling that way. So some part of me was probably reacting to the fear with a little bit of grump. So why am I talking about all of this? I think because when we don't know when I didn't know that my mind and my body were doing this thing, and that when I was stuck in a cycle of negative thoughts or being kind of mad or scared about something, was that was reflective of my inner state. And so before I had the tools to work with my body to go in and actually shift my state, which then shifts my thinking, I would get lost in my thoughts. I was just believing what my mind said over and over again. One of the things that I've heard my mentor say over and over, I think other people have said this, is that my mind does not wish the best for me. Now, it does the best it can, and I so appreciate my mind. But it's so damn fickle. It changes on a dime. And I think that's because my state is always changing. I might be in like a happy, flowy, lovey state, and then something happens. I get scared, right? I'm walking in the street and a car almost hits me. And then all of a sudden I'm feeling scared, and so my mind's reflecting that. So what can you do with all this information? I think that what's important here is to note that the way out is through, right? I could go into whatever story and whatever drama I was playing out with whatever person in my mind, and I could, get more disconnected from them and get more disconnected from me, and maybe withdraw and maybe say something out of fear that I might regret later. Or I could just go right into my body. Notice what sensations I'm experiencing. Often with fear, it's butterflies in the stomach, maybe kind of a pukey feeling. Presence with that, and actually allow myself to feel it. Because when I go in and allow that energy to move through, my mind doesn't have to work so hard. Because now the emotion, it's like a wave, right? It's crescendoing and it's moving on through, and then my mind doesn't have to try and get rid of it. It doesn't really know how to do that anyways. So today, if you woke up grumpy or scared or mad, you're kind of stuck in your head and you're spinning stories, and maybe you're just kind of feeling resentful, or you can't get out of some thought cycle. I wonder what's happening in your body. I wonder what sensations you're experiencing. What feelings might be wanting to move through. I wonder how you might feel different when you actually work with your body. Blow your mind a kiss, appreciate it for all it does, and let your body do what it's meant to do.